All right, launching this video to try to help folks here in Washington State, our building owners that are in the first cohort, the largest buildings here, 220,000 square feet and over, because Commerce recently sent out reminder letters that I'm recording this in mid-May, that the first compliance deadline is right now, June 1st, 2026, which is about 2 weeks away. So some folks I think are stressing about that deadline. Maybe they didn't get the notice, haven't gotten started, don't have the information they need, whatever may have happened. Let's talk about kind of like what to do based on the latest information through the rulemaking process and the communications Commerce has been providing the public. So the bottom line is get started, try to comply. There's a little bit of flexibility there, and do what you can to show good faith towards compliance. So under the existing laws, building owners need to apply for an exemption if one's applicable to you, and there are various under the standard, 180 days prior to the applicable deadline. So 180 days. Obviously, this has passed for the largest buildings, right? We're now 2 weeks away. We're not 180 days out. Good news is that in recent communications, Commerce has clarified that building owners can still apply for exemptions if they're eligible, even though that deadline has passed. So you should do so. Applicable exemptions for Tier 2 buildings, you want a deep nerd about it, are in Section Z4.1 of our consolidated integrated ASHRAE document. So if you're potentially eligible for an exemption, apply now, even though the deadline is technically passed. Second kind of category of things. As I mentioned in prior videos, Commerce is currently in the public comment period for some updates and revisions to the rules to provide additional compliance pathways, a little bit more flexibility, etc. These include, as I said, new potential compliance pathways, some new exemptions, and something we have not yet seen before, the potential for extensions. Before you get too excited, those are not like blanket extensions. You have to demonstrate some things, but there is the opportunity potentially for extensions, as well as the other aspects if the rules are fully implemented. So under CR 102, and I explain what that is, but that's the latest sort of proposed rulemaking document, Commerce is accepting public comments through May 28th, right? And there's also a public hearing. And with an intended adoption date of June 23rd, 2026. That date won't even necessarily be the effective date of those rules. But so, as you can see, there's sort of a gap between the June 1, 2026 compliance deadline for largest building owners and maybe a month, maybe more, of when we will potentially have some additional compliance pathways and flexibility, et cetera. So a little bit of a gray area, which is just the result of the state law processes that we have to go to amend legislation like this. So because the rules are not yet final, Commerce can't accept applications for any of the new things under the rules and the new compliance pathways, exemptions, or potential extensions. But what they have done is basically provided a form where you can fill that out to make sure that you stay up to date when that opportunity does become available. So if you take a look at the new amendments, the proposed rules, and if you're potentially fall into one of those, you want to make sure you fill out that form and sign up so that you know when they're available. So kind of top line here, if applicable for an existing exemption, apply for that now. Even though that 180-day deadline is passed, Commerce is still accepting applications. They've said that through multiple channels. If you're potentially interested in one of the new exemptions, compliance pathways, or potential extensions, think those might be applicable to you, complete that interest form. I'll put it in the description, and that way you'll be notified and you'll make sure you sort of stay up to date on the rules. And if we sort of put together comments Commerce has made, what's in the proposed rules, etc., seems like a best practice to do as much as you can over the next 2 weeks and keep going towards compliance, try to demonstrate good faith. That could potentially reduce the likelihood of being fined. Again, that's ultimately up to Commerce. We don't know. But it seems like you want to show you're taking steps to achieve compliance. So at least do something. So, and then I think the third part to keep in mind is start planning if you're in the second cohort. So remember, these timelines are going to kind of tick off annually for the different cohort sizes. So the next one is 90,000 square feet up to 220,000 square feet, basically. And we don't have any reason to believe that that 180-day deadline for the existing extensions or exemptions, excuse me, will not exist for that second cohort. So as far as we know, you have to apply for an existing exemption by like early December 2026 if your compliance deadline is in the next cohort of June 1st, 2027. So start planning now if you're in that second cohort, and that's a significant number of buildings, between 90,000 and 220. So start planning now. Obviously, I'm deep in the rules, keeping an eye on the process. If you want more information on the rulemaking process, potential exemptions, extensions, and things like that, I'll leave information on how to reach out in the description, and also watch prior videos because I provide some commentary on that as well. So let's decarbonize and stay compliant with Washington state law. We'll see you in the next video.